Hello and welcome back to my channel. Well, today's little investigation is ongoing work. So I did start a brake job on the Rolls Royce. Today I'll at least try to investigate where I'm leaking from. So I'll pull this cover off and I'll bring you in and show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, so I've got the brake fluid here. I'm going to do a brake fluid top up. But when it's running, we get, you can't even see the accumulator down there, but we get brake fluid pissing out of that. So I'm going to, like I said, top up the fluid, but I've got my little endoscope here, so I'm going to power that up and see what I can see remotely. That's what we got. So I don't think it's leaking from the fitting. But what I'm going to do is just maybe tighten that fitting and then see if that has any impact. No. Tightening up that did not do anything. Not that it even moved. I'm going to have to take that accumulator out. Been avoiding it, but has to go. Yeah, so pressing on with the hydraulic system on the Rolls Royce. I decided to bite the bullet and I bought a replacement accumulator hose for the front accumulator. Or circuit number 1 in any case. Yeah, the hose that's on it has a rounded fitting here, and let's put a new one on. At the same time, you might have watched the initial video which showed the condition of the reservoir and the filters, and I bit the bullet there too and decided at great cost to replace both of them. Now they're not cheap at all. I think from memory $200 for two, so $100 each. This is what they shouldn't look like. When they arrived, they were in just an envelope, and they were squashed, completely pancaked. I'll put a photo up for you. So that's no good. I'm in the process of trying to get a refund, but I'm going to MacGyver these to work. So what I've got here is a book with a spine closely resembling a spring. What I'm going to do is trim a piece that's going to fit up the guts of that and stop it from collapsing, because that's what the risk is here, is because it's being junked, pancaked, it's just ready to collapse in on itself. So yeah, very disappointed in that. I won't name and shame the company because, as I said, I'm still going through a process to get a refund. But I really want to press on, get this done. So I'll set you up and see what we can achieve with some MacGyvering. Jeez, eye protection. Yeah, that's going to be perfect. I don't want 10 kilos of spring force here. Just want enough to hold it out. Now notice it's got a coating on here. Gonna need to try and get that off. I reckon 3.5 coils is going to be enough. Like that. And that's the diameter. Go in. I think it will. Get this coating off. It's not going to come off very easily. Yeah, consider it being inside the filter and all the coating just dissolving and going through the brake system. Wouldn't be a great idea. You might need to drop it in some paint stripper. See what I got down the shed. Yeah, I thought I might be annealing it, but it's come out clean as a whistle. That's in there. Drop. But I need to just push that down a bit further. And that, my friends, is how it's done. So, spring in there, that won't collapse. And safe to go and do the other one. Alright, so it's tomorrow, a day later. I'm back in the workshop. So we've got the rolls up on ramps, chassis stands to give me access to the rear. I had a bit of a revelation that I was going to launch straight in and replace that hose and bleed the system and put the new filters in. But then I figured I do want the self-leveling suspension fixed. And I had bought some O-ring kits about 6 weeks ago, so I want to put those in. And so to do that, I need to get to the hydraulic. So hydraulics at the back will be best attempted, I think, with the wheels off. We can sort of get into it a bit better. So yeah, so the sequence of events, I'm going to do the refurbishment of the self-leveling valve body at the back here, work out how they blocked it off when they found that it was leaking, and remediate that. Then I will put new filters on the fluid reservoir, and replace that hose up there at the front accumulator. Then all the fluid that I'm going to be using for bleeding can be used for good measure on the repair that I've just done here. So anyway, that's the plan. No one wants their hubcaps nicked, so we've had previous owner just worked out a way to have them bolted on with an Allen key. It'll deter all the honest thieves out there. What have we got in here? Well, brakes. Okay, there's the valve body up in there. Okay, sit rep. So I'm under the left-hand side of the car, and I've had a look at the right side. When we look up here, we have got new brake hoses. I'm not pointing the camera at them at the moment because I'm not fully under the car. Can't see what I'm doing. I'm trying to work out if this thing has in fact been blocked off. What I'm going to have to do is take a photo. This here, that doesn't look right. It also doesn't look right that there's a hole here. You can see that. And I'm not sure if that bolt is right. It looks to me like it should have a bleeder. Like the other side, it has a bleeder on each of those. So yeah, so we got newish rubber hose there. We've got braided brake lines which have been replaced. I'll take the photo now and see if I can compare it with the manual. Okay, I'm looking at the workshop manual, and this is the left hand that I was looking at. I think I was pointing to this. I don't even know what that is, but I've just now double checked, and we've got all the hoses connected. It doesn't seem to be anything missing. And what I would note here is that there's not a third hole screwed into that mounting plate there. So yeah, bit odd. But I'm going to go ahead now and replace that hose, replace filters. It's all connected and it doesn't look like it's leaking, so I don't know what the previous owner was talking about, but we'll go ahead now. Okay, so here's the recap. This is the braid. See the braided line there? That needs to be taken off and replaced. So I'm not going to be able to show you that happening in real time, so I'll just bring you back when I'm done. All right, so that was fairly epic. Got the hose off. I'll show you. Okay, so this is the old hose which came off. What you'll notice is this is the bit that was pissing me off, or was unable to be reconciled in the end. I just couldn't get a bite on that to tighten or loosen. It was rounded off before I got there. And just note also the end. So you've got that flare fitting is kind of, it's not great, let's just put it that way. So don't know if it was the original hose. The other end wasn't much better, sort of munted. Contrast with the new hose, so you can see that flare fitting is much better. That's supposed to be 7/16, and on the new hose it is. On the old hose it wouldn't take a 7/16, it was just spinning, and due to lack of access you can't even see what size it's supposed to be. It took an 11mm, and in the end I just put a set of ice grips on it to get it off. So anyway, so that's that. I'm going to go and get some paste for the threads because they're a high pressure fitting. Let's just put a bit of thread sealant on them. And the more I look at this, the more the end of this is flared where it shouldn't be. And it's likely that's how we got the leak introduced. Okay, got my thread sealant. Cleanliness is next to godliness on this. So I'll clean out my hole with a bit of brake cleaner and make sure there's no brake fluid or other juices there to contaminate. Got the safeties on for this. No one wants RR363 juice in their eyeballs. Okay, just a bit of thread sealant. Sparing is the name of the game here. And not to put it on the first couple of threads. That should do it. Okay, so that went on like butter. I could even get a crow's foot on the upper fitting up in there. So yeah, all snugged up nice and tight. Now I'm going to let it sit for 72 hours for it to properly dry, and I'll be back onto it. Alright, so I'm back in the workshop. I have those filters ready to go on. So the objective of today is I've waited my 72 hours and hopefully that thread sealant is dry by now. Test for leaks. So I want to put the filters on in the reservoir, put some juice in there, run it up, see if I've got any leaks, and take it from there. The hope is that we're good to go, and then I'm just a fairly extensive bleeding process away from being back on the road again. So let's get into it. Let's open up that reservoir, see what we got, and take the old filter off and put the new one on. Yeah, I'm not going to put you through the agony of getting this off all the way. I'll bring you back when I've got the lid off. 2 washers on that one. Trying to keep them together. Oh no, there's 2 washers on each one. That one's just stuck. Okay, so we've got a bit of contamination in there. I'm going to wipe that out with a cloth. There we go. Yeah, I do have an earlier video where I decontaminate this reservoir, and I take the time to clean the lens and everything like that. That's, I think, where I got tripped up, was due to the lack of visibility through the sight glass of how full the reservoir was. I made some assumptions which I shouldn't have regarding how full the reservoir was, which turned out to be a bad assumption. Okay, you can see there's no filter there. This is one of the refurbished filters that I've got, that I worked on earlier in this video. I'll tighten that down. I'll just go get a spanner that will fit. Okay, so I'm not used to decontaminating all my tools, so it's 1 inch to get it off. Okay, from memory this one was hold. Maybe not. Keep it as a spare. Okay, I'm happy to see that. 2 new filters where there was once just one busted ass one. Okay, so let's top some fluids up. Yeah, this is RR363, don't worry. Run it up to about there. So the mistake I made just now when I was undoing bolts was to take the bolt out of there. So I'll put that back. Because you want the okay, this one and that one. You want the little float that goes up and down in here, that measures your warning light system. You want to make sure the centers are concentric. Center of the cylinder that you're seeing and the center of the float. Let's just see if we've got some floatage. Yes, we have clear floatage there. Going to leave the lid off for the next step. And the next step is I'm going to try and set you up to see if we've got any leakage. Okay, bit of an anticlimax, folks. The battery, despite being on a trickle charger, is dead. 10 volts, won't crank. That's the next thing I need to address. Alright, that's the battery that's come out of it. And been told not to use those indicators, but it's a replaced battery. On the positive side, walk through the I think that's exactly the same battery. I have a dual battery system in here, so I can swipe this and then replace it. So let's crack on with that. Okay, the one on the right is the dud, and that's your high performance. The one that's going in, ultra high performance. Same form factor, which is important. That's going in. Okay, next minor issue is that the form factor is different. So on the other battery, the terminals are at the back of the battery here. And I can't flip it around that way, obviously, because I haven't got the reach, and I don't have the reach of the SAD cable. SAD cable stops about there. So I'm going to have to open up the side panel and see what I can resurrect. Yeah, success. The SAD cable goes through a grommet here, and then there was a little bit of excess going to this kill switch here. So able to free up a bit more cable and bring it there. So we'll get the trim back together and try again. Okay, well, there's Rosie. Let's bring the thunder. Oh no, still leaking. At least we can rule out the hose, eh? Well, that really sucks. Disappointed? Yeah, definitely. Thought that was gonna fix that problem, but anyway, this is gonna be a to be continued. I won't sit on this content for another month. So anyway, keep an eye out. We'll get an update for you soon.